What do I say to someone trying to awaken Kundalini? I have to say, as the gut reaction, the gut thought reaction is be careful what you wish for. I've certainly found the initial Kundalini experience extremely difficult. Other people maybe have found it less so. But I would say to people, be very careful. It's potentially a really positive process, but there are many pitfalls. And I think if someone's trying to awaken Kundalini, I think they should think very hard about what they want to get out of it, what they're trying to do. If it's for selfish reasons, then I would say don't do it, because it's not really about selfish reasons. It's not really about being special. It's not about having psychic powers. I think ultimately it's about being a more effective human being and helping others. So I would say to someone thinking about awakening Kundalini, research it properly. Talk to people that have some knowledge of it. Do not approach it lightly. Do not approach it with a sense of ego of trying to be trying to be incredibly spiritually wise, or and approach it with humility. And definitely do not rush into it. Do not access someone who is saying they can awaken your Kundalini in a weekend, or internet sites that are saying, when we can awaken your Kundalini. Do not approach it in that kind of way. Research it, and also treat it with respect. Why are people having spontaneous awakenings now? I've got sort of a two-pronged answer to that. The first answer is perhaps people aren't having them any more than they would have done before, but through the internet there is so much better communication, so that people are becoming more aware of other people's awakening. So that's one possibility. It's more to do with the fact that these experiences are reported more. Another possibility could be that if you look at the human race as an evolutionary species, you could say on a global scale we're going through really a bit of a dark night of the soul. So on one level things are really quite negative, it's a dark night of the soul, but on another level, going back to the 1950s and 60s, there has been a gradual growing awareness of different spiritual traditions, and even though the 60s seems a long time ago now, and you had the Beatles really to a very big audience, in a way preaching about spirituality, and you had John Lennon saying that, all you need is love, which is a fair summary. Superficially that has gone, but underneath the surface it hasn't. So for instance, mindfulness, which would have been seen 30 years ago as quite a fringe movement, which is essentially Buddhism, is now used in mainstream mental health services. So that there are shifts, and perhaps there is a shift going on, so that humanity on one level is becoming more aware, and more aware of itself, and more aware of spirituality. So perhaps there are more awakenings. And if you view humanity as being on an evolutionary journey, and you're being optimistic, you could argue that as humanity evolves, there will be more and more spiritual awakenings as more human beings become aware really of a deeper reality of what life is about. So in biblical terms, there's a potential to return to the Garden of Eden after rather a long sojourn.